Content warning. Echo can be an emotionally intense experience and may not be for everyone. Echo contains themes of an adult nature, including violence, torture, drug usage, and harsh language. Viewer discretion is advised. Jesus, I will never go down a basement like that. God. Finally, at the end of the hall, Carl opens a door, and I can see from the ceiling that it's right under the stairs we came down on. Carl waves his paw around and finally grasps something before pulling down. An old light bulb comes on, and I see there's a little door with a small latch on it. He opens it, and I'm greeted with a musty smell as Carl slides through the opening. I follow attentively, making sure I'm not walking into cobwebs. Are mm, are there a lot of spiders down here? I don't think so. We sprayed a few weeks ago. It's extremely dark, and I hear Carl grunting next to me. Ugh, there's a floodlight here somewhere. Ah! Oh my god. Oh my god. Why? Why? I put too much horror sound alert. Oh my god. I hate it. That's when I also raised the volume on my fucking mic. Oh my god. I hate y'all. Y'all are mean. Y'all are bullies. Oh my god. Don't give me that eyeball. Put that eye away. My goodness. Put those eyes away. Stop it. Oh my god. Ugh. There's a floodlight here somewhere. Here it is. Like everything in the house, it's big for a crawl space. Pillars sprout from the ground in 2 rows that stretch back almost into darkness. What can we say except you're welcome? My goodness. Oh my god. Pillars sprout from the ground in 2 rows that stretch back almost into the darkness. The ground is covered in tarp, and I see a dozen plastic bins lining the wall. This is a lot of shit. Yep, it's a few generations worth of shit. I walk over the tarp to look into one of the bins, but all I can see is clumps of cloth and towel. Clumps of cloth and towel through the cloudy plastic. Carl walks past me straight towards the back of the crawl space, his big hooves clopping around loudly. No. Who played that? Who played that? Why is it not showing up? I'm crying. Oh my god. Pixel! Oh my god, I'm actually gonna get a heart attack midstream. I actually helped them sort through all this stuff last year, so I think I know where it is. We're gonna get up to an actual jump scare, and I'm gonna be like just confused. I follow him, but it's hard to see in the darkness. Should we get a flashlight? Nah, it's only about 2 tubs. I think we'll just pull him to the front. I stand off to the side as I watch him push bins around, looking at the labels on top. He is toxic as fuck. That is why. I don't hate him. I love that we got closure in a sense that I got closure from like the situation. But like it's not that I don't like him. I like him better when he goes to therapy, is what I'm saying. When he's less like manipulative obsessiveness. I saw the cell phone text. I knew he was trying to isolate us. This fucker. Hold up. Let me take out. Let me. No, not a slideshow. We don't need the slideshow. Oh my god. This fucker. This fucker right here is a red flag. This guy. This fucking guy is such a red flag. No slideshow for you. Yes, the one that fetishizes otters. This is him. This big man. Stop it. Stop licking my screen. My god. Red, stop it. I'm putting him away now. My persona is an otter. Red, no! Oh my god. Spray him with water. My god. I put him away now. He's gone. Otters love water. Rez. I look over at one of them and see home movies written on it, and it was filled with cassettes. Ugh, don't remind me. I look up to see that Carl noticed me staring at the bin. Oi, stop spraying each other with piss. Stop it. That is such a weird fucking sentence that came out of my fucking mouth. Jesus Christ. Don't give me those. Oh my god. You guys are crazy. Oh, what? Carl grunts as he lifts up a bin and drops it pretty carelessly on the floor. I'm pretty sure I hear something break. Mom had me help her convert all that to digital. It took all fucking year. Wow. Yeah, it's in the cloud now. You're actually in a lot of those videos. Huh? Really? Yeah, birthday parties and shit. Of course I would be. Carl's dad practically had a video camera glued to his eye back in the day. I used to hang out with Carl almost as much as I did with Leo once we started going out. I even went to their family vacation a few times. But then me going out with Leo changed things. Looking back, I think Carl was kind of unhappy with that. We can watch a few once we're done here, if you want. No, sure. You fiend. That sounds like an old person thing to do, but I am curious. Found it! Carl slides out 2 plastic bins and I see history written on top of it. Help me carry one. Carl lifts up the top one and starts waddling back to the front. I bend over and lift the second one, and I'm surprised at how fucking heavy it is. I'm worried I'm not even going to get it off the ground for a few seconds, but I manage after a while. If Carl's bin is as heavy as mine, then he's a fucking beast at being able to lift and carry that shit. I stagger after him, almost certain that I'm gonna go headfirst into a wall. Once we make it back near the stairs, I bend over to set down my bin, and that's when I see a massive spider on the lid. It takes about half a second for me to recognize the black shape and spindly legs. Oh fuck! I scream and drop the bin, and before I knew it, I'm halfway back from where I came from, panting and shivering. Holy shit, what happened? I tremble and try to steady my voice. A fucking spider! What? You still scared of those, man? Man, for a second I thought my sister came home and then got murdered. You told me there weren't any. I didn't say that. I just said we sprayed. Just get rid of it. At this point, I shuffled a little closer back to the light, and I can see Carl grinning as he bends over to look at the lid of the bin. Whoa! It's got babies on its back. My body gives a violent, involuntary spasm, and I shake my paw like a fucking girl. Stop! Stop it! He glances up at me with that stupid smile still on his face. Wow, that was gay. But seriously, it's got a bunch of tiny babies on its back. I think it's a wolf spider. Oh, aren't those poisonous? Jesus. I swear I'm gonna pass the hell out if he doesn't stop talking. I cover my face. Please? Alright, alright. I didn't know you were that scared of him. You should probably get that checked out. Considering that I almost crashed my car. Considering that I almost crashed my car into the garage of my parents' house when a spider crawled out of the AC, he was probably right. Just kill it. Why would I do that? I watch as he tilts the bin sideways. It's not gonna hurt anyone. I want to tell him that those babies are only going to grow into 100 more giant wolf spiders. But I realize I'll just come off as a bloodthirsty asshole, so I bite my lip as I watch the black spot skitter off into the darkness. I walk back towards Carl, hugging my shoulders I try to control the chills running through me. Now I'm going to be paranoid the whole time that it's going to come back out to get me. Carl rubs my back when I stand next to him. You know, they actually clean up a lot of the other bugs that get into your house. Yeah, well, I'd rather be covered in ants than spider. Do you? Do you really? Because like I get spiders are creepy crawly. I personally hate spiders, but like I don't want a bunch of ants crawling on me. That seems more horrifying than a spider. It's clear he's trying not to laugh at me as he starts popping the lid of his bin. On the top, on the top are a few framed pictures, and under those are a few more cardboard boxes. I release the latches on the other bin, keeping my eyes out for any black spots that might jump out at me. This one is filled with bundles wrapped in cloth and paper. Carl drags his bin to the steps so that he can sit on them, and I follow suit. So, how do you think you'll use this stuff? Um, I unwrap a small bundle and look at the gold pocket watch underneath. Wow. Well, not totally sure. Depends on what we find. Might film a few things. Ooh, we get this music. Hold up. I gotta make sure I save. Look at that. The last time we played was May 11th. That was the last time we played. There's a paper tag attached to the chain with Robert Hendricks written on it. Who's this? Carl gives it a glance. No idea. Probably a great uncle or something. I wrap the pocket watch and reach the back of the bin and pull out the next item. There's something really cool about old stuff. My mind wanders to who might have made it, who bought it, and how much shit it must have seen. History was my first choice in a major, but Dad put a stop to that pretty quick. I'm also gonna take off my ponytail. I didn't get all of the hairs in the high ponytail, so like it's just poking at me now. Comfy has long hair. I pull out various other things: dolls, a pipe, coins, and another pocket watch. I feel like this is worth a lot of money. Why don't they sell it? Probably because it's family stuff. And I still think they want to do a museum. He gives an awkward cough. Besides, we got plenty of money. He's got the binder open at the back, and he's got the binder open, looking at the black and white photos behind the plastics. Hey, this is him, right? He points at a picture of a very dignified looking ram, thumbs in his vest, wearing one of those big top hats. A fox stands next to him in a similar pose. I can see a piece of yellowed paper set behind the photo and tug it out. James Hendricks. Yep, that's him. And John B. Gay. Huh? I feel like it's pronounced something else, Bagay. But I immediately read it as be gay. I guess we being gay. That's Jenna's last name. Carl's phone starts buzzing and he grunts as he leans back to pull it out of his pocket. Hey, Mom. Helping Chase with his project. No, of course not. I look over at him, but he gets up and clops back up the steps. Looking back down at the picture, I wonder if it's just coincidence, but I don't think so. Jenna's family has been in Echo since the beginning, too, so this guy definitely has to be a relative of some kind. I take a picture of the photograph with my phone and I'll show it to Jenna later and ask if she knows anything about it. To do that without a car? Carl raises his voice, so I look back up the steps, wondering if I should close the door. Hearing him angry like that doesn't feel right. His parents were always hard on him, but I guess they had their reasons. Oh, 1 second. Being called. His parents were always hard on him, but I guess they had their reasons. I spent the next 20 minutes shuffling through the bins, trying to be careful not to break anything. I decided I had enough and put the lids back on the bins, lining the stuff I picked out along one of the steps, since I don't have anywhere else to put them. By the time I head back up into an actual basement, Carl's gone. I approach Carl's room. I smell it even before I open the door. He's reclined on the bed, an arm thrown over his face, the big window above him open. Clothes are scattered all over the floor, along with a few empty water bottles and bowls. Every inch of the walls are covered up in posters like I remember, along with a few on the ceiling. Bookcases line the opposite wall, filled to the brim with comics and toys. He raises up an arm as I walk in and smiles. "S- Uh, Sorry about the mess, dude. It's hard to keep everything clean when my parents aren't here to yell at me about it." The lazy, crackly sound in his voice has returned full force. His eyes are distant. "It's okay. Are you okay?" He grins toothily. "Dude, I'm more than okay." Since there was nowhere else to sit, I end up sitting down on the floor at the foot of his bed. Do they let you smoke in here?" The smell in his room is layered and old, like the walls have been blanketed in the smell several times before. "Yep, they gave up trying to stop me. Better to be in the house rather than getting caught by a cop outside. They just made me promise that I wouldn't ever try something harder." "Good thing they don't know I've already tried, dick." Damn. He puts a lot of emphasis on the K as a bad joke. Seems to just dribble out of his muzzle, among other things. Huh. I lean back on the bed, and that's when I notice the flat screen, just a 48-inch, is on a list of video files displayed on it. "Why are you throwing beans in the chat?" What you watching?" "Huh? Oh!" Kyle grunts as he sits up and reaches for the game controller. "Our old home movies. Was gonna show you some of them." Just because he can. How about a birthday?" "Sure." He scrolled down the list, then stops when Carl's eighth is highlighted and press play. And presses play. The backyard I was in an hour earlier pops up on the screen. Now a long table sits in the middle of the lawn, along with a massive bounce house. Not just any bounce house, but a giant 2-story one you find at the state fair. Oh god, oh two. The video is timestamped at April 19th, 2002. Fuck, I remember this. There are about 20 kids, mostly in the bounce house, and most of whom I've forgotten. Ugh. Right now, though, the camera's zooming in on an 8-year-old Carl. He's messing with a giant Nerf gun, the kind that no kid ever gets because they're so damn expensive. And that's when 8-year-old me enters the picture, holding a much smaller Nerf gun. His parents gave everyone a goodie bag that day, and I had toys in it that I might not have been able to get on my own birthday. My kid self put the gun to Carl's head and pulls the trigger, the dart bouncing off one of the horns. I specifically remember that moment. I had thought the suction end of the dart was going to stick, but of course it didn't. The audio is filled with a deep chuckle. Carl's dad behind the camera. "You were a dick back then." "What? I was 8. Still, you blew out my candles." "Oh yeah." He got so mad about that. I started to settle back and smile. It's been a long time since I watched home movies, and I've forgotten how nice it is to have this method of looking back. I kind of like it when I get stuck scrolling through all the old images on my phone. Maybe my younger self is trying to help Carl with the gun, lifting up the barrel and looking into the open. Careful! Kid Chase pulls his head back with a jolt as Carl's dad yells. Oh, that's his dad. Careful! Kid Chase pulls his head back with a jolt as Carl's dad yells, then mutters behind the camera. Let's see how long it takes him to trick Carl into trading with him. Carl's dad sounds exasperated, but good-natured. Still makes me blush a bit, now knowing how aware Jim was of Maya taking advantage of his son. Our with the new Nerf gun gets the attention of another kid, though. My breath catches in my throat as Sydney bounces into frame. I can feel Carl tensing up next to me, too, and he starts to lean for the game controller. And here comes the Mormon boy. The disgust in Carl's dad's voice shocks me. And I hear Carl whisper a curse next to me as he fumbles for the controller. Sydney reaches out and pulls the gun away from Carl as he looks it over, grinning. Hey! Suddenly, the screen switches back to the file menu, and we both sit there in silence for a few seconds. Sorry, I guess I forgot that. Of course, Sydney was going to be at that party, but I'd honestly forgotten too. If there was any way to perfectly ruin the mood, that had been it. I glance over to Carl and see him looking down at the gamepad, ears lowered, the insides red. Hey, it's okay. I mean, maybe it's a good thing to watch my dad. I didn't know he'd say that. I'd rather not find out what else he had said. Oh, yeah. I look around trying to find something, anything to distract us from what just happened. My eyes fall on the shelves holding Carl's game library. Want to play a game? It's just like old times as we co-op through Winter Castle. The fact that he still has the old save files from when he was in college makes it all the more nostalgic. Oh, this is what I get for eating ghost pepper chicken fries. Oh my god. I get all burpy. I get so into it that it gets dark outside without me knowing, and pretty soon I'm looking out at the purple sky reluctantly. About time I go back. Carl sighs and pauses the game before stretching and dropping the controller onto the bed. Aw, come on, sure you can't stick around? I don't know, I don't have any clothes or a toothbrush. We can walk over and get them. Carl seems pretty determined to make me stay, and there's not one reason why I can't. So I relent. All right, yeah, this could be fun. Yes. Carl looks happy and almost relieved. It'll be just like old times. He rolls to his hooves. And speaking of old times, let's make a pizza. I've suddenly caught Carl's enthusiasm. We go into the massive kitchen and pull a big frozen pizza from the fridge, and while it bakes, we sit on the counter and talk. At this point, the haze of pot has lifted from Carl's face, and he's animated and excited again, swiveling on one of the counter stools. For the first time in almost 10 years, I'm giddy and excited in a way you only get when you're at a sleepover. That makes it a little jarring when he pulls out some beers, but I'm happy to have a few, and we guzzle them down as we talk about past sleepovers. Pretty soon our reminiscing drifts into the present, and that's when the conversation slows a bit. Carl having less to say. I try to change the subject and tell him that he should come back to school. He just smiles and shakes his head. Why are we doing a birthday thing here today? 3 hours later, we're both laying back on Carl's bed, head to toe, having just watched a shitty action movie. We didn't end up going out to get my stuff, so I'm just in my boxers, pleasantly drowsy and buzzed. I hear Carl snuffle and look down on my chest at him. What's up? He looks over at me and shrugs. Nothing, just thinking. He's so fuzzy. I love him. Nothing, just thinking. What about? During our past sleepovers, Carl had always been afraid to be the last to fall asleep. He tried to keep me up by talking, rolling over on top of me, and sometimes by just throwing shit at me. I wonder if that's what he's doing here now. I don't know. Life? That's a lot to think about. Not for me. I look over at him again. He's holding one paw up, looking through his fingers at the ceiling fan. You're just figuring things out. Carl lets an arm flop back over his head, blowing out a sigh. I'm not figuring things out, man. I don't say anything. It's cool that he's reaching out to me, but I'm not sure I can offer any advice that he hasn't heard before. I can't help it. He's so fucking cute. Bellies, arms, pecs. He's everything. He is the moment. He is the gay, and he is the ideal. I just wish I could be doing something. I think for a moment. You've done a lot more than some people I know. I mean, your art is great. You did go to school, even if you dropped out, and you were working while you could. There's a lot of people out there who can't even say that. Carl laughs, but it's a sad kind of laugh. Trying to say that to my mom. She's always got something to do, always wants to do something. I just don't feel that. He turns his head towards me. I wish I did, Chase, but I just can't. His voice catches in his throat, and I shrink a bit into the bed and pretend not to notice. The beer we've had is definitely partly to blame for this. He turns his head towards the wall, though, and I'm guiltily relieved that when he talks again, his voice is under control. I just wish it wasn't such a goddamn chore for me to just go outside, you know? I didn't know, but I nod anyway, even if he can't see. He's waiting for me to say something, though, so I clear my throat. Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Was the right decision! Oh, no! Oh my god, do I coddle him and say it's fine? Or do I tell him that he has a problem? Oh no. Oh no, this is my first decision. He's clearly not fine. Oh my god. Oh my god. My god. I am scared, guys. I don't want to fuck this up. I really don't want to fuck this up. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm scared, guys. I'm so fucking scared right now. I really don't want to fuck anything up. Because I know something bad happens. Like, I don't know. I don't know.